Hi, today I'm going to show you how to use eCC with the Magento store. This video will be in 3 parts. The first part will show you how to connect eCC to Magento into your QuickBooks, and then we'll go through a few of the most important configuration screens. The second part, we're going to go through how to process an order using eCC in Magento, and then the third part, I'm going to show you how to use the product module and the scheduler. Now, as you see here, eCC can integrate with over 25 shopping carts. And this Manage Store screen is what you'll see as soon as you open eCC. Now, to add a new store, you can always click this Add New Store area. But since I already have my Magento store added, I'm going to click Edit Connection, which goes to the same exact screens as Add New Store. So the first part is connecting eCC with QuickBooks. First, you select your version of QuickBooks from the drop-down area here, and then you select the location of your company file. You can browse your system for that company file, but if you're ever unsure where that is, you can always open up your QuickBooks, press Control and the number 1 key, and it will display your file location. You can always copy that, make sure this box is closed, and then paste that in here. Your QuickBooks Company file mode should always be put to single user mode just for this initial connection. After the connection is established, you can always go back and change it to multi-user mode within the eCC interface and within the company file itself. The connection file type is local, and the date format is automatically formatted for the US settings. So if you're in Australia or the UK, you can always change it to your specifications. When you're done, test your connection down here by pressing this button. Before you're connected, you'll receive a certificate that should give you your settings. And then you'll be connected to QuickBooks. Click Next to proceed. Now here is where you connect eCC to your store. So you can give your store a name, and this is the name of my Magento store, and this name is unique to the eCC interface. And then you can choose the Magento from the drop-down menu as I've done here. Next, if you haven't already done so, you should have also installed your eCC Store module. That is the main communication module that eCC needs to communicate properly with your Magento store. If you haven't already installed it, you can always check out our help documents which gives you a step-by-step instruction on how to do that. And then it shows you how to generate your store module URL location. Once you have that, you can put that in this area here. And then you should put your username and your password to the admin area of your Magento store in these 2 fields here. And then test the store connection. Great, you're connected to your Magento store. Then click Next. This is where you enter all your store information. This information will be displayed on your packing slip if you choose to use one, and also on the ship from address if you're shipping out your orders. So you can fill all this information in here. I see I need to fill in my state. Once you have all this information, you can click Save Store, and you'll be proceeded to the store configuration to configure your store within the eCC interface. You should click Yes if you haven't already configured your store. This is the store configuration area. I'm actually going to take you through a few screens that are most important to each store configuration. If you would like a detailed walkthrough, you can always check out our videos and our help documents, which you can link through each area down here through each screen about how to configure your store. So one of the most important screens is this transaction screen. And you're setting up how you want to record your orders into QuickBooks. And you can do that one of 4 ways. You can create them as an invoice, a sales receipt, a sales order, or an estimate. And if you're using purchase orders, you can click this here too. The next important screen is the order screen. In this order screen, you're setting up at what online order status do you want eCC to begin downloading your orders and bring them into the eCC interface. Now, I oftentimes see a lot of customers fill out all these checkboxes, but you should only fill out 1 or 2. And you should select the box of the online order status, which tells you, if you're looking in the back end of your Magento store, that this particular order or a particular order is ready for you to process. In this case, Magento automatically sets it as pending. And then the next question you should ask yourself is, if I see an order that is set to pending in the back end of my Magento store, is that order paid for? If your answer is yes, then under Process Payment, you should click No, Mark as Paid. So that order will look as paid in the eCC interface. If you're shipping out your orders, you can click Yes for process shipping, and therefore your orders will be downloaded into the eCC interface as paid and unshipped. This area here, number 2, how to handle orders that are not processed with eCC, this is a new area that we've added for V3. And what this area does is all of the orders that are not processed with eCC, which means all the boxes that aren't checked, you can opt to download those and place those in the Ignored Order tab if you're ever unsure about what particular status you would like eCC to download your orders. And while you're in that Ignored Orders tab, you can always shift over orders that you want to process to your New Orders tab, and then you can revisit this setting and choose the most applicable setting you would like to download. So you can opt to download them and place them in the Ignored Orders tab, or opt to not download them at all. It's your choice. Then the next step is selecting a status that you want eCC to modify your online order status to when you post to store. And I'll explain the posting to store function when we talk about how to process orders with eCC. The third most important area is the taxes and discounts area. eCC can handle those 3 ways. If you do not charge taxes, you can click that and then move on. And then the next 2 areas, you have to decide, do you want QuickBooks to calculate your taxes, or do you want your taxes to come in as a line item? If you have an accountant, it's definitely a good idea to get them involved, so you know if you're charging tax for in-state tax, how to create those within your online store, and also how to create a tax item within your QuickBooks company file. So now I'm going to go to part 2 and show you how to process orders using eCC and the Magento store.